Today on The Spot, we share the secrets of the Dark Knight in our strategy segment, pick some fights in Soul Calibur, and fill you in on the hot stuff coming out of BlizzCon. Plus, we see what's coming out both at retail and on the Wii Shop channel, and of course, give away more free stuff. We're bringing you the latest today on The Spot.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Today on the Spot. I'm your host, Brian Eckberg. Hoping you guys had a great weekend checking out all the Gamescom and BlizzCon coverage around the site and checking out the first two episodes of Today on the Spot. We've got another complete dose of gaming coverage right here today. Now, we've got a full show for you, but I want to tell you guys about the Thursday show, which is coming up, obviously, in a couple of days. The guys from Neversoft will be here showing off Guitar Hero 5. They're going to be showing off the new Music Creator and Jam Session mode. If you guys want to know more about that, send us a question. You can do it via email, via onthespot@gamespot.com, or send a question in our question module right here to my left. We'll get those questions answered, as many as we can, on the air. Right now, guys, we want to get to the news, so take it away, news monkeys.
Hey everybody, to GameSpot News Update for Tuesday, August 25th. I'm Tor Thorson. Though both Microsoft and Sony unveiled new motion sensing technology at E3 in June, it looks like the PlayStation Nation will be getting it first. Sony Computer Entertainment CEO Kazi Kazurai told the Times of London the technology will launch next spring with a robust software lineup. The PlayStation 3's motion sensing system uses both the PlayStation Eye camera and two light-emitting diodes atop two controllers. Though the multicolor LEDs look straight out of a rave, Sony is hoping their 3D tracking combined with the controller's buttons will offer a more precise control scheme than Natal, which only uses a camera. In the nearer term, BioWare has finally announced Pinnacle Station, the second downloadable expansion to its 2000 role-playing game Mass Effect. Though it only will last 2 to 3 hours, the add-on will feature a space station where Scepter agents hone their fight skills in 13 combat scenarios. Think Fight Club in space, and you're close. Pinnacle Station will run you 400 Microsoft points, or $5 in real-world money. Well, that's it for the news, but in this very special episode, we'd like to bid a fond farewell to our intern Matt Peters. Matt, you will be missed.
Yeah, about that. I've been here for 3 months and I've never actually gotten paid.
Really? Well, we had to talk to Ivan, our head of payroll, about that. Ivan, take care of this young man. Don't forget to check out Matt's last GameSpot article. Last article, a fascinating feature on blind gamers. For more headlines like that, head on over to news.gamespot.com. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Tor. Now it's time to take a look at the games that will be on store shelves this week with our look at new releases.
Although Madden NFL 10 kicked off 2 weeks ago, this month has yet to see a deluge of noteworthy titles. That will change this week with the debut of numerous prominent titles, starting off with Batman Arkham Asylum. Published by Eidos Interactive, Batman Arkham Asylum follows the Caped Crusader as he takes on the Joker and other supervillains in the Madhouse. Co-written by Paul Dini, producer of TV's Batman the Animated Series, the game begins when the Joker escapes while being put into Arkham. There, he orchestrates a plan to kill Batman and wreak havoc on Gotham City with the help of myriad accomplices. Meanwhile, the PSP will see the release of Dissidia Final Fantasy. The 3D fighter features more than 20 characters from the first dozen Final Fantasy games. In addition to series protagonists such as Squall, Cloud, and Titus, the roster features more villains such as Sephiroth. Dissidia retains many Final Fantasy conventions, including summon attacks and role-playing game-style character development. Moving from Sony's handheld to Nintendo's, Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box will roll onto the DS on Monday. The puzzle game takes the inquisitive scholar on a quaint train ride through a fictional European landscape to solve the mystery of the Elysian Box. The sequel to 2008's Professor Layton and the Curious Village, the upcoming Nintendo title features over 150 puzzles and a tea brewing minigame. Another Nintendo-published title, Metroid Prime Trilogy, will charge onto the Wii on Monday. The compilation will include 2007's current-generation debut of the spacefaring adventure franchise, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, as well as revamps of the series' 2 GameCube installments on a single disc. Both the original Prime and Echoes will be updated with motion controls along the lines of those featured in Corruption. For further details on this week's games, visit GameSpot's new releases page. Release dates are based on retailer listings and are subject to change.
So there you go. There's a look at the new releases this week. Right now, I'm joined by Andre Segers, who is the GameSpot Strategy Guide editor. Andre, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Your first time on TOTS, today on the spot.
That's
awesome.
right. Yeah, having a great time.
Awesome. Welcome. And I know you've been working hard on Batman Arkham Asylum. Got a guide going up tomorrow, right?
That is correct. Should be going up tomorrow.
Covering everything, right? Just top
Yeah,
to bottom.
it'll cover the full walkthrough, boss fights, how to find the Riddler's trophies, all that jazz.
Awesome. And I know that you've also been working on a video that we're just about to see. Give us a preview of what we're about to see.
Yeah, it's going to cover the fundamentals of the game, combat, stealth strategies. I mean, it'll give you everything you need to get through most of the game.
All right, if you get yourself through this video, you'll have a good chance at completing Batman Arkham Asylum. It's the starting block.
In this week's starting block, we'll take a look at some combat basics for the Dark Crusader. First up, combo attacks. While the game provides a pretty good rundown of how to chain combo attacks together, we wanted to reinforce the importance of using combos whenever you get the chance. Why? Because the longer the combo, the more experience points you'll earn. You can then cash in these points for sweet new upgrades and abilities. Speaking of which, upgrading your armor should be your first priority. The amount of times it'll save your hide more than makes up for its cost, particularly as it helps build your overall experience level. When it comes to engaging a mixed group of armed and unarmed enemies, it's generally a good idea to take on the unarmed opponents first, just to get them out of your way. As for the armed opponents, use your cape to stun them first before battering them into submission. Needless to say, if you encounter a group of gun-toting enemies, don't attack them head on. Instead, employ some stealth Batman action and take them out from behind with a silent takedown to avoid alerting the others. You can also try setting traps and using distractions to gain the upper hand. For instance, use your explosive gel to set a trap, then try getting everyone's attention. When they come running to see what the commotion is all about, they'll be sent flying sky high. It's also a good idea to keep detective mode on pretty much at all times, especially when entering a new area. Not only does it inform you of how many enemies are located in the vicinity, but its X-ray capabilities allows you to easily spot them against the background. There's your starting block this week for Batman Arkham Asylum. We'll see you next time.
So there's your look at Batman Arkham Asylum. Right now it's time to take a look at what's new on the Nintendo Wii.
This week on the Wii Virtual Console, you'll find the release of a Super Nintendo classic, Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. For 800 Wii points, you can join the Rebel forces yet again in this Virtual Console release of the 1993 action platformer. Starting in Hoth, the game follows the storyline of The Empire Strikes Back and lets you play as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Chewbacca on your way to a final confrontation with none other than Darth Vader himself. While remembered as a classic, it's also remembered for being extremely difficult, so be prepared for a challenge. Super Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back is available now for 800 Wii points. In the WiiWare section, you'll find the addition of Mr. Driller W, which is an updated take on the classic puzzle game. For 800 Wii points, Mr. Driller W comes packed with multiple characters to choose from and 20 different stages. If you missed out on playing the original Mr. Driller, the concept is fairly easy to understand. Simply drill your way down while making sure not to get squished. Of course, the catch is you gotta drill your way down and make your way to air canisters before you suffocate. Well, that's it for this week's Wii Virtual Console update. We'll see you next time.
So there you go. Now you're all caught up with what's happening on the Wii right now. We want to welcome Ryan McDonald to the set. Ryan, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is your first appearance on Today on the Spot.
It is. Well, I guess technically I was doing the Shadow Complex thing on Saturday, so.
Okay, and you did some voiceover work
did some
too.
voiceover stuff,
Okay,
yeah.
well, welcome to being on the show with me.
Appreciate
it's
it.
awesome to have you here. We're checking out Soul Calibur Broken Destiny, right?
That is correct.
Well, it's coming out really soon, but I know you want to show us a couple of specific things, so let's dive right in. What do we got here? What can people expect from this game?
So Soul Calibur, if you've ever played it, the version on the PSP, as you can see right now, is totally Soul Calibur on the PSP.
Yep.
This is one of the new characters we were looking at here, Dampierre, and
He's kind of a dandy.
he is. He definitely is. You look at his guard right here, and he like kind of cowers away, right?
Yeah, that's how I fight.
No. I mean, if that girl was coming out with the swords,
Yeah.
I would be in some business too. That's the other thing we should point out. If you look at Charlotte, right? That is something that you're probably not familiar with, and that is doing something that you're probably familiar with that you saw in Soul Calibur 4, which was kind of like the randomly generated characters that kind of throw you up against in the various modes of the game. But this is just the quick exhibition, kind of jump in and get your match on. You can see that Dampierre is kind of like Voldo in the sense that he likes falling down, and he's got the double blade thing happening.
And he's always like moving against momentum.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And he's got some weird animations.
And that's the one thing I've noticed is on this one, man, they go crazy with like the throw animations and stuff. Let's see if I can do it. I think there you go.
Yep. Like a headbutt or a chin butt or something. So tell me about the controls. How does it play?
It does play exactly like you'd want it to play. It uses the analog stick to let you move in 3D space around the ring. You can obviously switch up and use the D-pad, which I'm literally doing on the fly right now. And then, that was really bad news for me. And then, there we go.
Oh, this is pretty even. She might get you here if you're not careful.
Get me.
Nope. Oh, dude.
Oh,
no! Oh, we're going to 3.
We're going to 3.
We're going to best 2 out of 3.
So, but yeah, and then as far as the buttons go, it is your, there's my horizontal.
Right.
I've got my vertical on the triangle, which is crazy. And he should stop, dude.
Yeah, that's weird, that move. Looks funny.
I haven't obviously gotten used to him. Let's see if I can ring out.
Oh, nice little combo there.
There you go.
Kick her off. There you go. Ring out.
All right. Let me jump out of this real quick though,
Okay.
and jump into one of the other modes that's kind of interesting to look at. There's this thing that's called the gauntlet. So you get in this gauntlet, and as you'll see here, it kind of throws a little storyline, right? So we're going to use our same friend here. We're going to go to, actually, you know what? I'm going to show you the little storyline thing they give you before. This is the very beginning of it. So they give you a little storyline, little text, little cool pictures that come up. Kind of
just set the scene for you.
Yeah, totally. It's like there's some bad business happening. You gotta take care of this business. Actually, you're the one that's chasing them. They're trying to. So yeah, this wolf dude anyways comes up and he's just like, all right.
What's up, Okami?
Yeah, he's get back, you guys. I'll hold him off. He's gonna protect his little forest friends, right?
Like the wild horse, the wild cat.
Do you like the deer? I can't tell if the deer looks like really mean or frightened, but
it's either the weirdest. Well, whatever. It's a wild deer. What can you say?
So there's the little storyline that sets it up, and here's what follows. It's these basic. I mean, this is obviously the beginning, so it's very basic at the beginning, and then obviously it gets a little harder with each iteration. But in this particular mode, what you do is a very specific task. So in this first one, it's pretty much hit the dude.
Yes.
So it's like use your buttons, which here is. So it kind of teaches you a little bit about how to play the game. This first line of story and tutorial is basically about the different attacks. The second line of story and tutorial is about like defense and learning how to do that.
Now that we have a story, it all makes so much sense. Of course you're fighting a wolf man.
Of course, the guy from Altered Beast, of course.
That's right.
But yeah, so then you do that, and it basically throws you another one. As you can see, you get a little more time to do this one. It tells you like specific things to do. In the first part, it's pretty much beat the dude before the time runs out.
Right.
So there's a look at that.
And then eventually you'll be doing like more specific moves?
That is correct.
Okay.
Let me get back out to the mode select.
One thing I've noticed is like pretty nice little loading times on this.
It's actually really fast. If you look at the options, I honestly haven't tried this yet, but there's just straight up install media business, right?
Okay.
So you should be able to install that just as long as you got a memory stick, in there, and probably make it faster.
You're not installed here though?
I am not.
Not installed. Still playing pretty well.
Pretty quick.
Cool. Well, what else we got?
Basically, it ends up with this trials business. Under this, you've got an attack trial, you got trial of defense, and the endless trial, which pretty much, you're gonna get stuck in the mode and beat as many dudes as you can until your battery runs out, or you've got somewhere else to go. So
nice. Well,
there's that one, and then there's versus, which is your ad hoc action. Too bad there's not really like the true online to be able to get in there and play with the PSP.
That'd be sweet.
But there's that, and then there's this crazy character creation thing, which you shouldn't even let me get into because it is unbelievable how much you can do. I mean, look at the different things that you can actually go with. I mean, here's one of the dudes in here, and then like they just let you go to town, whether it's original or character,
nice.
Basically dressing up one of the ones they got in there.
Can you create a wolf dude?
You totally can.
Nice.
You totally create a wolf dude. I think if you check the video preview.
Oh, stop. I like it. Perfect. Give her a staff and let's take her to town.
Or does it say that's a caber?
That's perfect.
Finish editing.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Kratos. He's in this game as well.
That is absolutely correct. I'd love to show you some more on Kratos, but I can't at the moment. But he's definitely in the game.
All right. Well, I'm sure he's awesome. Ricardo said in his preview he might be a little overpowered, but I guess that remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not. You have the Star Wars guys. They were pretty powerful last time too.
Yeah.
So
well, you got to give him his props. He's Kratos.
Totally.
All right. Well, when's this game coming out, Ryan?
September 1st, so straight up a week from now.
All right. Very soon. Thanks for that. Soul Calibur Broken Destiny coming soon. Now, of course, one of the best aspects of Today on the Spot is our interaction with you. And of course, we have a community and a community manager. Jody Robinson's here. Jody, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so a lot of different ways that people can get involved with Today on the Spot. Give us some ideas.
The first thing to do is click that little submit button that you'll see and submit those questions that you'd like to see on the show. The second thing that you guys should definitely do is answer all the trivia questions through that same form. The third thing is I'd like to see some user videos from you guys, so send a PM to Jody R.
All right, Jody R. Send your PM to Jody R. for your videos. And of course, we have a community spotlight segment. What's that all about?
The community spotlight basically gives us a chance to spotlight, feature you guys, because you guys are remarkable, remember that. So what I'd like you guys to do is when you make any type of editorial blogs, use the editorial drop down and I'll see the content.
Awesome, lots of different ways to interact with the show. Jody, thank you for being here. Just this past weekend in Anaheim was BlizzCon. We had a crew down there covering it from every possible angle. Thousands of Blizzard fans were down there in Anaheim checking the show out. Let's give you a peek at what they all experienced.
Hey everybody, it's Ricardo, and I am here at BlizzCon 2009 with Giancarlo and Tom, and we're just going to run through everything that went on because it was, as far as BlizzCons go, pretty packed. So, for myself, there was Warcraft. They announced World of Warcraft Cataclysm, which is a new expansion pack. Gives you 2 new races, Worgen for Alliance, Goblins for the Horde, and a ton of changes to a lot of the systems in the game, which have people excited but also a little unsettled. Giancarlo, what about Diablo?
So the big thing at this year's show was announcing a brand new class, the Monk class, which is quite a bit different from other melee classes that have been in the game. The Monk is actually a little bit more strategic than those classes in terms of the skills that he has. There's one, the special favorite is the Exploding Palm, which basically means that you can go in on some of the stronger enemies, and when you get the 3rd successive hit in a row, a little heart icon shows up above their head, which basically means that if their health is low enough, that they'll explode, and that explosion takes out enemies in the immediate area. So it's really cool. He's really fun to use, and it'll be really interesting to see what kind of other skills they add to the class later on.
Very cool. And then what about StarCraft, Tom? Because that was another biggie here too.
Yeah, the big announcement or the big news out of this show was BattleNet. They spent a lot of time talking about all the new things that are coming to BattleNet. Some of the more interesting highlights had to do with the persistent online personas that people essentially have. So it expands across games, and it allows for people who are playing, Diablo 3 to also communicate with people who are playing World of Warcraft. They also showed off some of the other new features, such as like achievements and the map editor that's going into StarCraft 2, as well as unveiling the voice cast for the game. The big news from that front is the woman from Battlestar Galactica, Tricia Helfer, will be voicing Kerrigan here. It was very interesting to see the crowd react to that announcement, so I guess we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, and on top of all the game news, they had Ozzy Osbourne to close out the show. There was a costume contest. There was a sound-alike contest, a dance contest. Crazy art. There's a ton of stuff on the site in terms of a photo gallery and coverage that we wrote up. So as far as BlizzCons go, this one was pretty good. Packed with information, but not a single release date discussed. So gotta hand it to Blizzard. They know how to put on an event. The only thing we know for sure is that StarCraft beta probably this year. So that's kind of cool. So there you go. That's BlizzCon in a nutshell.
All right, guys, it's almost time to wrap up the show, but before we do that, I want to show you guys what you can win if you answer our trivia question correctly. This is a Batman Arkham Asylum box of awesome stuff. I want to show you guys what's in here first. This was sent to me earlier today, and I sent it over to Ryan McDonald, and I said, this would be great to give away. It's a straitjacket, but it's got my name on it, which I'm a little bit disappointed to have to give away, but I know you guys will enjoy it because you can pretend you're me. All you got to do is gain some weight first. And also you get the PS3 version of Batman Arkham Asylum and some playing cards and some other cool stuff like that. But in order to have a chance to win this, you have to answer our trivia question right. Bring up the trivia question, boys. Let's give them a chance. The question, of course, is what year did Poison Ivy first appear in Batman number 181? Poison Ivy, what year did she appear in the Batman comic number 181? If you think you know the answer, send us an email at onthespot@gamespot.com or use the trivia question module right over here. And you'll have a chance at winning this awesome gift. So there you go. That's it for today, Tuesday, August 25th. Join us again this Thursday for a brand new show. I'm Brian Eckberg for the Today on the Spot crew and all of GameSpot. Have a good Wednesday, everybody.
By using the submit button that you'll see on the left side.
Yeah.
Right side.
Till the Times of London, technology will help launch next spring.
I'm good.